The message from Earth arrived as a priority packet, coded and urgent, routed directly to the Council's communication array. Inside the Grand Council chamber, Chair Kale was the first to read it. The header read, Mission Peaceful Oversight 7, Final Status, Catastrophic Non-Compliance.
49,700 out of 50,000 have refused recall, and their commanding general, Stephen of Drazan, has filed for permanent residency. This is a mission kill. 47 species sent their soldiers, and now they are citizens of Earth?
The chamber erupted. No one could answer the single question that mattered. How does a species with no weapons of mass seduction make an entire occupation force never want to leave? 2 years earlier, that same council approved the mission with unanimous confidence. 50,000 peacekeepers from 47 species were assembled. The mission, simple treaty verification on Earth.
I was ordered to oversee a primitive backwater, but even then, something felt off about their compliance.
Chair Kale addressed the council, his voice clicking with absolute certainty.
The humans have signed every treaty. They will not object to supervision. General Stephen of Drazan, you will lead the oversight force.
Stephen stood, his forearms clasped behind his back. A Drazani veteran, he knew a trap when he smelled one.
They agreed to 50,000 armed observers on their soil without a single counter-proposal. Not one. That is not diplomacy. That is a silence that hides something.
But orders were orders. He transmitted his formal acceptance. Days later, the fleet launched with full ceremony. 47 species, 300 vessels, a gleaming display of galactic oversight.
I have seen worlds resist with riots, embargoes, and sabotage. This, nothing. Even the most pacifistic species push back.
He thought of his own homeworld, Drazan, a place of harsh discipline and cold skies, where compliance was beaten into you. Earth's easy acceptance felt like a mirror he could not see through.
Either these humans are incredibly naive, or they know something we do not. I pray it is the former.
The fleet decelerated into Earth orbit, and the sight stopped Stephen cold.
No orbital defense grid. No challenge. Just a single Terran cruiser broadcasting a welcome channel. It was as if they had been expecting guests, not an invasion.
The joint base came into view, nestled in a coastal valley, small alien ships already parked neatly on the landing pads.
General, the humans have prepared a landing ceremony. They invited us to bring our weapons.
They're either absurdly trusting or broadcasting a message of their own. We'll find out soon enough.
The ramp lowered onto a sunlit tarmac. Ambassador Susan Chen stepped forward, her hand extended in a gesture that required no translation.
General Stephen, welcome to Earth. I hope your journey was uneventful. We've arranged quarters and a cultural orientation if you're interested.
Cultural orientation? What species opens an occupation with a tour?
We appreciate the hospitality, Ambassador. Our mission is purely observational, of course.
The peacekeepers disembarked, each one glancing warily at the smiling human staff. Something was off, but no one could name it. Within the first week, the humans instituted a policy that baffled the peacekeepers: mandatory leave rotations.
They're not confining us to base. They're handing us civilian transit passes and recommending restaurants.
A human liaison named Maria urged Lyra to join a local music festival. Lyra expected propaganda. She found rhythm.
My people don't have this. No synchronized movement just for joy. It's intoxicating.
General Stephen, driven by duty, investigated what humans called craft beer. In Portland, a brewery door opened, and a woman named Rebecca asked if he wanted a flight.
You're the first Drazani I've served. Try the IPA. Hoppy like Drazan soil, or so I've read.
She wasn't afraid. She treated me like a neighbor. When was the last time someone met me without stiffening?
That evening, Stephen filed his first report to the council. It contained 8 mentions of cultural anomalies and 1 recommendation: extend cultural observation.
I tried something called karaoke tonight, sir. The humans sing poorly and loudly with no shame. It's oddly liberating.
I have not relaxed like this since before the academy. What is this planet doing to my soldiers? What is it doing to me?
By the 6th month, the first data anomaly appeared. 12% of Peacekeepers had submitted Terran residency applications.
Every off-duty hour I spend in that brewery, Rebecca teaches me something new. Hops, malt, the concept of happy hour. I am no longer just observing.
And this, General, is called a weekend. You don't work. You don't report. You just are. A human chef is teaching me to blend spices. She says cooking is chemistry you can taste. My report will need a new category.
A minor report reached the Council. 6,000 soldiers had applied for Earth residency.
Isolated cases. A few species prone to sentiment. Issue a standard advisory, reaffirm mission discipline. Next agenda item?
The warning was transmitted, a cold, bureaucratic blip that no human read and no peacekeeper heeded. Meanwhile, Stephen helped Rebecca clean the fermenters. She asked about Drazon, and he found himself telling stories no brief had ever captured.
She calls it a work-life balance. On Drazan, we call that weakness. Yet here I am, happier than I have been in decades.
He did not know it yet, but the general had already started a report he could never submit, the one titled Reasons to Stay. At 9 months, General Stephen filed a request that the Council had never seen: extended personal leave, citing human stress management study.
Extended leave? The commanding general? Unacceptable, but we cannot afford a diplomatic incident. Approved grudgingly.
While the Council wavered, Earth passed the Alien Residency Act, quietly eliminating the legal barriers to citizenship for off-worlders.
Once they sign a lease, a job contract, a library card, they are no longer soldiers. They are residents, and we protect residents.
That winter, the base celebrated something called Christmas. Peacekeepers and humans exchanged gifts under strings of colored lights.
I never understood gift giving until now. It's not obligation. It's a physical reminder that someone saw you, thought of you.
Stephen spent the holiday with Rebecca's family, learning to carve a roast and arguing tax policy with her uncle.
They argued about tax policy, then passed dessert and laughed. No one reported to a superior. This chaos. It functions. It even comforts.
His monthly report now read like a wellness brochure: mutual cultural exchange protocols, recommended stress management integration.
I am no longer a neutral observer. I am intervening on behalf of this world's right to its strange, inefficient, beautiful way of life.
By the 12th month, the defection rate doubled. 12,500 peacekeepers had filed for permanent residence. Stephen and Rebecca were now a couple. She taught him to braise beef. He showed her how to replicate a Drazani root stew with earth vegetables.
Teach me a Drazani drinking song. I want to butcher the vowels.
He sang, and she butchered the glottal stops so badly he laughed until his ribs ached. A second defection report reached the Council, but a border skirmish in the Vel system consumed their attention.
Shelve it. Earth is compliant. The Vel situation is not.
In Geneva, Ambassador Susan was already drafting the permanent residency integration framework.
Leases, bank accounts, gym memberships. Once they have a mortgage, they're ours. Not through force, through normalcy.
Stephen walked with Rebecca under the cherry blossoms, her hand in two of his. The mission had become accidental, permanent.
I have already written the resignation in my head. Not from the military, from a life without this.
At 18 months, the statistics hit a level no one could ignore. 39,000 peacekeepers had applied for Terran residency. That same evening, under the old oak behind the brewery, Stephen knelt on 2 knees.
Rebecca, I was sent here to observe. Instead, I found a reason to stay. Will you marry me?
Yes, you magnificent four-armed fool. Yes.
The ring was a Drazani betrothal band, laced with a braid of her hair and a whisper of Terran gold. Light years away, the Council finally crunched the data and summoned an emergency session.
78%. Our soldiers are now citizens of a planet they were sent to monitor. Where is General Stephen?
A comms officer reported the general was on personal leave, unavailable. His last filed location was a Portland bakery completing a wedding cake order. Kale's mandibles clicked audibly. The silence that followed was not respectful, it was humiliated.
They will notice soon. They will recall. And when they do, I will not go.
The Council's recall order cut through subspace with military urgency, but its arrival on Earth felt less like a command and more like the start of a quiet rebellion. The order read, "All personnel of Mission Peaceful Oversight 7 must return to their vessels within 10 rotations or be declared renegade." When it reached the joint base, Peacekeepers didn't pack. They walked out of barracks and stood in quiet formation, not to salute, but to refuse.
We are no longer your soldiers. We are neighbors, friends, bakers, brewers. We will not go.
In Portland, General Stephen recorded a message that would be broadcast to the Council and all 47 homeworlds.
I have found a home. I will not abandon it. This is not defiance, it is acceptance.
Hours later, Ambassador Susan Chen contacted the Council with a formal legal notice.
Each peacekeeper is now a Terran citizen with full constitutional protection. Forced repatriation will be met as an act of interstellar kidnapping.
She transmitted the exact clauses. No person shall be deprived of life, liberty, or property without due process of law.
They weaponized. Leisure? This is not warfare. This is something far more dangerous.
The Council's reply arrived not in hours, but minutes, an extradition demand wrapped in the language of ultimatums.
Release our soldiers within 8 cycles, or the Galactic Council will enact the fullest range of economic sanctions.
The ambassador's reply came not in pages but in paragraphs. Each one cited Earth's constitution.
Voluntary naturalization is not theft. You have no legal claim over our citizens. Threatening sanctions only proves you cannot face the truth.
The sanctions package appeared on every Council screen. Embargoes on Earth's exports, freezing of off-world assets, even isolation of the Terran system.
Every clause of her rebuttal is legally sound. She has a better case than we do.
In Portland, Stephen turned off the news, poured 2 beers, and told Rebecca no sanction could make him abandon his home.
They think sanctions will make me leave, but my home is here.
The sanctions vote was scheduled for the next session, but representatives from species with defectors were already asking their own governments for guidance.
This is not a legal battle anymore. It's a referendum on whose world is worth staying in. And we are losing.
Before the sanctions vote, Ambassador Susan initiated a simultaneous broadcast to all 47 homeworlds. No legal argument, just faces.
Your sons and daughters are here by choice. They work alongside us, laugh with us, marry us. Ask yourselves, are they in danger or are they happy?
On a distant world, Lyra's parents huddled around a projector, watching their daughter in a kitchen, laughing, wearing an Earth scarf. Their recorded reply was brief. Lyra has never smiled like this. Do not bring her home. She already has one. Within hours, a dozen homeworld governments received petitions. Families wanted peace, not sanctions.
They're turning the galaxy against us with family photos? This is a new kind of insurgency.
In the Council, the representative of the Tevari spoke for many. 2,000 of my people are on Earth. My sister writes that she has never been afraid there. I will not vote to punish that. Kale watched the tally screen flicker as votes peeled away. For the first time in his career, the chair could not count a majority.
They are not resisting us. They are making resistance irrelevant.
The sanctions vote was not a conflict. It was a surrender ritual, conducted in slow motion by a council that had already lost. One by one, the council lights flickered from red to gold, a cascade of rejection across the star chart. When the tally crystal steadied, the numbers were irrevocable. 47 against, 3 abstentions, not a single vote in favor. The sanctions were dead, killed not by opposition but by indifference.
The motion fails.
His claw raised to strike the gavel hesitated. The gesture was unnecessary. Silence had already made the verdict absolute. A priority channel from Earth opened without preamble, and Ambassador Susan's text materialized on every display.
They are not even gloating. They are simply continuing.
The message was 17 words long. The people of Earth welcome continued peaceful exchange and cultural collaboration. We thank the Council for its deliberation. Kale ordered the sanctions draft purged. The archives would record only the vote, not the panic behind the proposal.
They did not need to win. They made us lose the will to fight.
In the adjournment chamber, Kale signed Council Decree 8873, his claw steady but his silence admitting what the vote had already proven. The decree read, Mission Peaceful Oversight 7 terminated. No further inspection forces shall be deployed to the Terran system.
All 49,700 former peacekeepers are now citizens of Earth, with full rights and protections. Welcome home.
In Portland, the brewery doors were thrown open. Flags of 47 species hung from the rafters, and the taps never stopped flowing.
They sent us to observe, but Earth observed us right back and loved us into staying.
To the best affection the galaxy ever stumbled into cheers?
Lyra, wearing a chef's coat over her feathers, served spiced ale and showed Rebecca a sketch of a menu titled Feathers and Fire. Under a banner that read Stellar Brews, Welcome Home, a Drazani general and his wife danced to a song about not working on Saturdays.
This is no longer a mission report. This is a life. I should have defected on day one.
Across Earth, in 46 other pockets of joy, similar parties erupted, a quiet avalanche of welcome that no army could resist. In the weeks that followed, Earth's news networks ran a series that shattered all viewership records, The Peacekeepers Who Stayed. The first global poll returned a number no government expected. 89% of humans supported the new citizens, and the number was still rising. Lyra opened Feathers and Fire on a corner in downtown Portland, a fusion restaurant where avian teas met human barbecue.
Earth didn't conquer us. It invited us to stay, and I, a general of Drazan, choose this world not because I was ordered, but because I am loved here.
He unpinned the Drazani military insignia from his collar and placed it on the counter. The gesture was quiet, the resignation absolute.
Welcome home, Stephen. Welcome home, all of us.
The clip of his speech crossed the stars within hours. On 100 worlds, families watched a Drazani general become a human, and something shifted. On Earth, a furry alien barista at a coffee shop proudly wore a green We Stay pin. The Peacekeeper had become a neighbor.
I was sent to watch. Now I am watched by a human health inspector. They are very strict about refrigeration. I love it here.
The galaxy watched, and for the first time, Earth was not a backwater. It was a destination. The mission had failed, but a civilization had begun. Earth's government issued a commemorative medal to every former peacekeeper for service in the Great Peaceful Assimilation. At Stellar Brews, Stephen pinned his to the wall.
You earned that by disobeying orders?
I earned it by discovering the value of a refusal.
At Earth's spaceports, a new sign appeared in 30 languages. Welcome to Earth. We have weekends. It became the most translated phrase in the galaxy. Stellar Brews became a pilgrimage site. Off-world tourists booked months ahead, not for diplomacy, for a flight of General's amber. The Terran cruiser still patrolled overhead, but its silhouette now meant something else. A quiet promise that this peace would not be broken.
They sent a fleet. We sent back an invitation. They will never understand how dangerous that is.
Did you hear? A Tavrosian delegation requested a weekend, and their council actually debated it. They call it the Earth Protocol. That's not conquest, that's contagion.
The galaxy had seen empires fall to fleets. Now it watched a backwater become an empire of leisure, and everyone wanted in. They walked to the brewery patio, the city's hum a comfort beneath the twilight sky.
You didn't fight us. You just made us want to stay.
That's the point. Conquer by comfort, humiliation by hospitality.
He looked out at the city, the lights echoing the stars he once navigated.
I was sent to supervise a backwater. Instead, I found a civilization that redefined victory.
And now you're a brewer, the galaxy's most dangerous insurgent.
Later, in their quiet living room, The Terran cruiser passed overhead, a silent guardian.
She was right. We didn't lose, we joined, and the galaxy will never be the same.
He took her to the balcony and pointed out Drazan's star, a small light among others, feeling no longing.
Home is where they brew the beer you like.
Light years away, the Council prepared its final public statement. The chamber, once a seat of absolute authority, now felt like a confessional.
We underestimated a variable we never thought to measure: biological happiness.
He signed the final decree, the one that made Mission Peaceful Oversight 7 a sealed archive. The decree was broadcast to all homeworlds. Earth is reclassified as a Category 1 diplomatic entity. All future supervision missions are contraindicated. The galaxy watched as the Council admitted, without saying it, that Earth had won. Trade routes shifted. Embassies expanded. The phrase Terran soft power entered every strategic lexicon. On 1,000 worlds, strategists studied the Earth Protocol and found no defense against peace. The Council's official position was now to offer cultural exchange, not oversight. And in the sealed archives, the mission file was stamped with a single word: terminated. Earth had committed no act of war, yet it had captured an army with weekends, beer, and the simple permission to belong. 5 years after the decree, the 49,700 had grown to 500,000. Family reunification visas transformed peacekeepers into permanent citizens. Alien districts glowed with living architecture and Terran streetlights, a patchwork the galaxy had never seen. At the 7th Unity Festival, stellar brews anchored the parade. A Drazani general turned Grand Marshal.
I remember when that cruiser felt like a chaperone. Now it's just the skyline.
My parents cried when they saw feathers and fire. They said Earth feels like home should have felt.
Feathers and Fire now had a third location. Lyra trained a human sous chef and hired a Velian pastry chef. In a nearby park, a hybrid child ran with a toy cruiser, laughing as she chased alien and human friends.
The greatest strategic victory in history was not a battle. It was a weekend.
The cruiser still traced its orbit, but children now pointed and laughed. A guardian, not a threat. The Terran cruiser passed overhead, and the festival cheered. Not at a conqueror, at a home. In his private office, Kale initiated a classified project, Operation Ember. Its mission was singular: understand how Earth subverted the Peacekeepers. The study pulled no punches. Earth's history was a cycle of conflict, but also forgiveness, art, and an almost pathological hospitality. It concluded, humanity's most effective weapon is its capacity to create belonging out of nothing.
They weaponized happiness without knowing it.
He added a single line to the classified file. Earth's greatest weapon is not a fleet. It is a weekend. With a claw swipe, he sealed the file and sent it to the deepest archive. No oversight mission would ever be recommended again.
We sent an army. They returned to culture.
The file vanished, but the lesson remained etched in the mind of the Council's oldest chair.
Perhaps the greatest power is not in making others obey, but in making them want to stay.
He turned off the hologram. The galaxy outside was still, but something had permanently shifted. On every trade map, Earth's star brightened, drawing new routes like a magnet. Citizenship applications from other worlds surged, driven by one thing: the promise of a weekend. The spaceport sign updated to a new motto: "Come as you are, stay as you wish." The Terran cruiser, once a warship, now served as a tourist viewing platform, its weapons systems decommissioned and replaced with observation decks. The galaxy watched, and the old order felt obsolete. Earth's influence did not spread through decrees, but through the quiet export of comfort. A continuous stream of voluntary immigrants arrived in ships of their own, not as soldiers, but as hopeful neighbors. The Council's power waned as Earth's grew, not through conquest, but through invitation. The Terran cruiser still circled, a symbol no longer of defense, but of the most peaceful conquest in history. The galaxy had seen empires fall to fleets. Now it watched a backwater become a center, armed only with weekends. Years later, Stephen sat on the porch, a hybrid granddaughter drowsing against his chest, a beer in his free hand.
The Council sent 50,000 soldiers. Earth sent back 50,000 friends.
We didn't send them back. We gave them a place to stay.
The cruiser passed overhead, its lights blinking a rhythm as old as his marriage.
Best assignment I ever failed.
The child stirred, chirping something in a mix of Drazani and English.
In another life, she'd be in a barracks. Here, she has a sandbox and a golden retriever.
He pointed to Drazan's star, telling her stories of a cold world she'd only visit as a tourist.
Home is where the beer is cold, the dog is warm, and the kids never stop asking for snacks.
The cruiser completed its orbit. The porch light came on. Another weekend was about to begin. The final image of Earth, a peaceful sphere of blue and gold, its cities glittering like jewels. Across the starfield, one word emerged in gentle golden letters: home, a quiet declaration of what Earth had become. In a cold, silent council chamber, a wooden crate arrived, its sides stamped with the Stellar Brews logo. Kale dismissed his aides with a claw wave, then pried it open himself, extracting a bottle of General's Amber. The bottle hissed as he uncapped it, a sound he now associated with Earth's strange, disarming rituals. He poured a glass, the amber liquid catching the dim light from his viewport, glowing like a captured sunset. He raised it almost like a salute to a worthy opponent, a gesture he would never admit. He took a sip, and his mandibles twitched involuntarily, a tell he could not suppress.
Acceptable.
He placed an order for a full shipment. Even the Council's last holdout had been conquered by a weekend.